Hello friends, how are you all? Of course, we are all having a very safe, secure, happy classrooms nowadays, right? Today, I'm just going to take a very interesting one, active to passive. Why, active voice to passive voice. A grammatical pattern of changing the subject into object and object into subject. Am I right? Fine. I'm going to do few actions. Let me not directly enter into the subject directly because it's going to be really absurd if at all I say subject, verb, object, change into this and that. Definitely it's not going to be interesting, right? I'm going to do few actions. You have to find it and then which will bring you to the topic in a very interesting manner. Shall we? Yeah. All of you just observe what I'm doing. What did I do? I thanked her. Okay. This means when the subject of a sentence performs the verb's action, we say that the sentence is in the active voice. Okay. You may not have understood within one action. Now talking about passive voice. How are we going to change the active voice sentences into passive voice? A sentence in the passive voice or a sentence is in the passive voice when the subject is acted on by the verb. That means the doer of the action is not given much importance, whereas the action done is given a great importance. That is, now we spoke about monkeys in active voice, right? Now we are going to talk about the verbs. Bananas are adored by monkeys. So what happens? The object is given importance and they act as subject and the subject act as object. And what is the difference? The great difference you see in passive voice. What did we say? Monkeys adore bananas. So the verb is adore, right? Whereas in passive voice, how do we use are adored? Adored is the third form of V1. Adore. Adore, adored, adored. And have you noticed? I have used are adored. Why? This is the second significant rule of changing into passive voice. The sentence in the active voice has a particular tense, right? Whether it is simple or simple present or simple past or past perfect, whatever it is. Whichever tense you use in active voice, the same tense form should be used in passive voice. Fine. So, the auxiliary verb, that particular tense, auxiliary verb should be used in passive voice. The money was counted by the cashier. Have you noticed this verb? By. So, when we use passive voice, we should definitely use by. Okay? Subject and then the verb and then by and then the object here. Fine. When do you use passive voice, my dear friends? Can you tell me? For what reasons do we use passive voice? Where do we use passive voice? Not reason. Which place? Can you tell me? Yeah. Events. When you narrate events, when some events are narrated very interestingly. There you use passive voice. Friends, I would like to ask you one thing. Before going into passive voice very deeply, I just want to know whether you all know the importance of using passive voice. When we narrate an event in a very, very interesting manner, fine. For that, I would like to narrate one event and I just want to show you where passive voice occurs. A beautiful flower had been taken in my hand, and the breeze was felt on my hand, and she could be seen somewhere in the corner. I was able to see her coming through the threshold, and the flower had been given by a beautiful girl, like a small angel, to my sister. Come on, you would have imagined something else, right? So, how did I use had been, have been, is being, right? So, in such narrations, mostly passive voice is used when the actor is unknown. That is, the doer of the action is not given importance, but the verb, the action which has been done is given importance there, and the sentence is narrated there. The actor is irrelevant. You don't need the person who has done the action there at all. But the action which has occurred is given importance. There you need passive voice. Fine. For the first one, the actor is unknown. The cave paintings of Ellora caves were made in the 8th century. Friends, have we ever gone through the thing? Who has painted the Ellora paintings? No. But we speak about the paintings and the age when it has been painted, right? So, the cave paintings of Ellora caves were made in the 8th century. So, here we don't speak about the actor at all, but the action occurred, and the actor is irrelevant. See, after this class, friends, you may all be talking about the class, but not about me. That is the great thing. Fine. It's just for a joke I am telling you all these things. Fine. You won't be talking about me, but you will be talking about the class. So, the actor is irrelevant. An experimental solar power plant will be built in the Australian desert. So, in this sentence, we don't speak about who is going to build the solar plant, but where is it going to be built? So, it is going to be built. So, the action is given much importance. And when you speak about the general truth, you use passive voice. Rules are made to be broken. Fine. I am asking you very frankly, you have to tell me honestly, how many of you hold a proper license? How many of you wear your helmets? How many of you are properly using the rules, following the rules, and waiting in the signal and going in a proper speed? If at all you kick the bike, immediately you rise. So, rules are made to be broken. We break the rules. Break the rules, right? We are people, human always, right? So, and then you would have come across the newspapers, right? How many of you are reading newspapers? All of you. Good, 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 good. We should definitely know news, and then we should know how the world is existing, how the world is going on, every day what's happening, right? Yeah. So in the newspaper, we used to expand the headlines, right? The headlines would have been expanded in passive voice, and this is the importance of passive voice. Now, I am going to tell you the rules for simple present tense, active voice to passive voice. How active voice is changed into passive voice? How can we change active voice into passive voice? What all rules should we follow? You tell me. Yeah, tense should never change. Then V3, very good, very good, very good, very good. V3 should be used while changing into passive voice. Then by. Yeah, by. What is the main aspect of passive voice? What should you change? Yes, subject should change into object and object should change into, fine. What is the main rule? The final rule. Can anyone tell me? Yeah, you. Very good. Good. Only 8 tense forms can be changed into passive. Very good. And all the modals can be used in passive voice. Yeah, I'm going to give you examples for all the tenses and all the modals. Okay? Just a Russia. That's all. Before going into examples, how are we going to change it? Yeah. Subject, V1, that is simple present tense I am talking about. Subject, V1, then object. How do we write passive voice? Object, is, am, are, V3 by subject. Then, when we talk about present continuous, subject is are, yeah, present participle, object is being, V3, are being, V3. Again, the subject should come as object. Fine. When we talk about present perfect tense, subject, here V3 can be very easily changed in present perfect tense because the V3 in active voice can be very well used in V3 in passive voice. We write present perfect tense only with V3. It's very easy to change present perfect and past perfect. Fine. Yeah. Subject, V3. Fine. What is V3? In present perfect, how do we use? For example, if it is the verb do, it is an irregular verb, right? It completely changes its form. Do, did, done. So in present perfect, we use have and has. Have done, has done. Like act, acted, acted. Immediately do, did. You shouldn't use have did. Have, has did. It's not that. The V3 in irregular verbs, they change their forms. So, have done, has done. In present perfect, we use have and has. Right? Again, when you change it into passive voice, what happens? Come on, tell me. Yeah. Object is changed into subject. Have, has, and V3, you use the same V3. You have to link these words with been, have been. Then by, subject is changed as object. Fine? And we don't change present perfect continuous tense at all. Present perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense, future perfect continuous tense, and future continuous tense. All these 4 tenses can never be changed into passive voice. Now when we come to past tense, past perfect continuous. How do you do? Yeah, subject, V2, object. Object changed into subject and then V2 as V3. What is V2? How do you use V2? You tell me, any one of you. Yes. She gave a pen. Let's take a simple example. Then only you can very well understand what I give you all. Right? She gave a pen. Fine. This gave V2 when it is changed into passive voice, naturally changes its form into V3. So there will be a question in between the subject and V3. What's it? Gave, past tense. Tense form should never be changed. So the subject should be, if it is singular, it should be was. If it is plural, it should be were. The pen was, gave, changes its form as given. Gave is changed into given. Was given to me or her or him, whatever it is. If it is I, it should be changed into me. If it is he, it should be him. If it is she, it should be her. Then, when it is past continuous tense, how do you write it? She was giving a pen. Let's take the same example. No worries. There should be a better understanding. Fine. Let's not confuse ourselves. She was giving a pen. A pen was being given. What did I tell you? Pen, singular. If it is singular, then you use was. If it is plural, the subject plural, then it should be were. Here in continuous, you should use being. You should not confuse with being and been. For continuous, being should be used, and for perfect, you should use been. In present continuous, what did we do? I am giving a pen. A pen is being given. Am, that is present tense. Present continuous. Am is present continuous verb. The rule is, when you change it into passive, the tense form should never be changed. Do you remember? I told you earlier, in the beginning itself. So, when we change into V3, the proper auxiliary verb should be used. The pen is being given to her or by her. Fine. Now, we speak about what? Past tense. A pen was being given by her. Now we speak let's talk about past perfect tense. Usually for singular, plural, whatever it is, you don't need to worry at all. You use had. I had. You had. We had. They had. She had. He had. It had. For singular or plural, whatever it is, for past perfect, you use had. I had given a pen. How do you change it into passive voice? A pen had been. Don't confuse being and being. Being comes for continuous and been comes for perfect. Have been, has been, had been. Right? Had been given by me. Now, future. For future, what do we use? Will and shall. I will give a pen. A pen will be given by me. Friends, I'd like to tell you one thing. For will, shall, can, could, may, might, for everything, for all those modals, we use be, will be. We is changed, will is changed into will be. Shall be. May be. Can be. Could be. Should be. Must be. Ought to be. When we talk about modals, I think you'd have understood how you should change the active voice sentences into passive voice. Now, using modals, you may tell your problem. Your problem may be told by you. I told you now. May be. She cannot climb on the hill. The hill cannot be climbed by her. She would not allow me. I would not be allowed by her. He can drive a car. A car can be driven by me. Friends, here, as you're all going to collegiate education, you should also follow the pronunciation. When we say the word drive, when we use V3, it is not driven, it is driven. So, you should polish the language while you speak. When you pronounce it properly, it would add beauty to your language very much. He must learn this book. This book must be learnt by him. Friends, we use by only when we want to particularly speak about the person who has done the action. For example, the movie has been acted by him extraordinarily. So, for what do you give importance? You tell me, whether the action or the actor. When you speak about the actor, you use by here. You give much relevance to the actor but not the action, or not the movie, or not the events, or not the incidents which has occurred there. You speak only about the actor using particularly that by. Right? The movie has been tremendously directed by Atlee, by Hari. So naturally, the credit goes to the director, but not the people who have taken pains in the field, right? The total credit goes to the director. So, few things can be shown irrelevance without using by. You can give much importance to the action done when. You need not use by there. Without by, the actor is irrelevant there. The person who you give more importance, not needed. The action should be given importance there. It should be underlined specifically, right? I'll give you examples for that. The enemy has defeated our army. Okay. Here we don't know who the enemy is. Our army was defeated by someone. No. We understand that the army has been defeated. That's all. Here we don't give relevance to the person who has done it. Our army had been defeated. Passive voice. The watch was stolen. Someone has taken the watch, but we don't give importance to the person who has taken it, but we give the importance to the action stolen and the object watch which has been taken. What has been done to the watch? Watch was stolen. So we give importance to the action as well as the object, but not the doer. The thief was arrested. The thief was arrested. Who? Naturally by the policemen or by people who had seen him thieving, right? Very important sentence I would like to tell you. Policemen arrested the thief. Policemen arrested the thief. So we give importance to policemen, whereas the thief was arrested. Here we don't give importance to the person who arrested the thief. We want to give more importance to the action done. That is arrested. Who was arrested? The object. The thief was arrested. Here the object as well as the action done is given importance, not the doer of the action. So by is irrelevant here. My purse has been stolen. Again, we don't speak about the person who has stolen it, but about the object which has been stolen and the action. What has been done to the purse? Stolen. My purse has been stolen. Fine. So here we don't need by for such sentences. Fine. Friends, you all observed what I have been telling you all this time, right? Shall we recapitulate again? Harry ate 6 shrimp at dinner. At dinner, 6 shrimp were eaten by Harry. The 2 kings are signing the treaty. The treaty is being signed by the 2 kings. Again, a small recapitulation. Treaty is singular and signing is continuous. So treaty as treaty, the word treaty is singular, we should use is. For continuous, we should use being. Thank you.